My husband spends all day playing video games and has prioritized his PlayStation over our marriage. I reached my limit and threatened divorce. I, 34F, have been with my husband, 41M, for 15 years, and we've been married for 11 of those years. Together, we have a 7-year-old daughter. Since our daughter was born, our intimacy has drastically dwindled. We're down to being intimate maybe once a year, and even then, I'm always the one who has to initiate it. When we do manage to be intimate, it's a struggle. He has difficulty maintaining an erection, and it feels like a lot of work on my part. He's seen a doctor, and all his lab results came back normal, but he refuses to take medication like the little blue pill because he insists he doesn't need it and that there's no problem. For years, my husband has blamed our lack of intimacy on our daughter sleeping in our bed. I've suggested moving to a different room to be intimate, but there's always some excuse. He's too tired or not in the mood. Yet, he will still go up to our game room and play video games late into the night. Our daughter has been sleeping in her own room for over 6 months now, but nothing has changed. He continues to use the old excuse that our daughter's past habit of sleeping with us has somehow disrupted our intimacy. My husband is a good man and a dedicated father. He works hard, often putting in 60-hour weeks to support our family. However, his involvement seems to stop there. He often claims he's too exhausted to help out more around the house or be more engaged with our daughter's daily life, saying I don't understand the stress of being the primary breadwinner. Meanwhile, I work 40 hours a week, run a small business, manage all of our appointments, and take care of everything related to our daughter. I'm a classroom mom, active on the PTO, and handle all the household chores. I do the laundry, cleaning, cooking, grocery shopping, take care of the cars, manage yard work on our 2.5-acre property, and take out the trash. I also pay some of our bills and cover all of our daughter's extracurricular activities, which add up significantly. Yet my husband seems to think that my workload and contributions are not as significant as his, which has left me feeling overwhelmed and unappreciated. This past week, I got on his phone because he saves reels on Facebook for me. Normally funny stuff and recipes he wants me to try. I saw in his search history all these sexy girls and groups he's been looking at, which really pushed me over the edge. I wouldn't be mad if he came to me to have sex and I denied him, but he hasn't even tried. I confronted him about it, and he says he doesn't look that stuff up. I told him I'm not naive. It's clear as day what he's been doing. Then the next day he admits, saying, "Yeah, I click on those girls' profiles and groups because I'm a man and I like to look." He's been locking his game room recently while he's in there, and when he says he's sleeping, I know he's playing his PlayStation. And now I guess he's also looking at these different profiles. I'd seen lotion up there a long time ago while cleaning and asked him about it, and he swore he wasn't jerking off. But I'm not stupid and naive. I really just hate being lied to. He calls me a hypocrite because I watch porn, but I wouldn't watch porn and take care of my needs if he would be intimate with me. It's also not like I'm going to a specific person or their profile when I do pull up a video. I've also been honest with him that I masturbate and watch porn. I admit I am a hypocrite and guess I'm just hurt because it just seems like it's me. To me, it feels like he's not attracted to me or just doesn't seem to want me. He says he doesn't really have a drive, and that's what I had thought, but after seeing what he likes to click on, I feel he just doesn't have a drive toward me. Looks-wise, people tell him he definitely leveled up. Overall, I take care of myself and put effort into my looks. I'm definitely not the hottest or most beautiful, but I'm not bad looking. He's overweight, short, and balding. Why do I feel like now I don't look good enough for him or excite him enough to be with? I told him I want him to get rid of all of the gaming stuff, to not be locked upstairs, and to spend more time with me and our family, or it's time for us to divorce. He said he's not giving up his gaming stuff and doesn't see how that's the problem. He told me that I'm gonna ruin our family because all I want is sex. I'm just tired of begging. I feel I shouldn't be begging for intimacy, affection, and him being present with his family. I do so much for everyone, and I'm tired of not getting anything in return. I'm tired of putting my wants and needs last. I'm tired of begging him to hang out with us and do family stuff. The only thing that excites him is to go upstairs in the game room and play his video games. And I guess now I know he likes to do other stuff as well. We've done the counseling stuff here and there, and it gets better for a bit, but then it goes back to our normal. So am I the asshole and a hypocrite? Am I in the wrong and taking things too far, editing to add this about our child sleeping in the bed with us? We both allowed her to sleep in the bed with us. I had tried to boot her out to her own room sooner, but my husband kept saying she wasn't ready. She'd cry, and it was a lot of work and bribery to get her in her own room. Editing to add another note. There's definitely two sides to every story, and you're just getting mine. We both have different love languages. Mine is affection and physical touch, and his is acts of service. He likes a clean and tidy house, and I do my best to keep up with everything home-wise. I tried talking to him about what makes me happy and what I want, but he's not listening to me. I feel like a spoiled brat at times because, yes, he provides financially well for us, and I don't go without. It just sucks. I want to be seen again. We used to be such a team, and now it's a pissing contest about who does what. My husband really isn't a bad person or dad. Our daughter is definitely a daddy's girl, mostly because I'm the disciplinary parent that makes sure she has to brush her teeth, do her schoolwork, etc. On our days off together, he'll do a few things with us and then say he needs to get some rest, but he goes upstairs and plays video games. He really does work too much. He says he works so much because he wants to make sure we're taken care of if something happens to him, which makes sense since his dad was never there and his mom struggled when he grew up. Relevant comments from OP. Your comment really stuck out. Sometimes I do get to the point of frustration because I wish he'd just see what needs to be done without me having to nag him. Every year I ask if he can put Christmas lights up, and he doesn't do it until I finally snap at him. Christmas lights make me and our daughter happy, and he knows it. So why do I need to ask him to do it every single year? My birthday is around Christmas, and he doesn't do anything thoughtful. He says it's because he's working and didn't have time to get anything, but he can make time to game and order stuff for his games on Amazon. I tell him to make a cake with our daughter and have her make me a card, take her to Walmart and let her pick something out for me. I want him to show my daughter that I matter. I'm sure you saw the TikTok about the wife's stocking not having anything in it. And that's another thing I have to tell him to find the time to do for me with our daughter. I just want him to make time, and for me not to have to nag him. I think I'm just tired too. I know gaming is his relaxing and winding down time, but he's not understanding that prioritizing his family should be first. Update 1, January 4th, 2024. I am overwhelmed by the response from my first post and appreciate the feedback. I wasn't expecting to write an update this soon, or even at all. Also, I realized as I was blindly rage writing my issues to a bunch of strangers, I didn't write the title properly, so I corrected it in this post update. Yesterday, I messaged my husband the following. Why should we stay together just for our daughter? What do you love about me besides being a good mother and wife? What do you like about me? What are things you want from our relationship that you're not getting, besides financial? What do you think I contribute to our relationship? Do you really not want sex or a physical relationship? Do you think that's not an issue? I need a physical and intimate relationship. That's something that's important to me. Am I not attractive to you? Do you not desire me? Please be honest. Why do you hide the fact that you masturbate? Why can't you see why I'm upset and that my feelings are valid? You think I'm upset over nothing. I feel you take my words as if they are water being poured into a colander. You hold no value to what I say. Why can't you see my pain? You think this is easy on me? Have I thrown too many empty threats to you that you don't take this and what I say seriously? Where can we go from here? Can we work it out? Sometimes my issue is that you can't be honest with me that there's an issue. I hate when you don't take accountability and place blame elsewhere. We're adults. We make mistakes, and we should take accountability for what we say and do. I know I'm not who I was, and I don't love who I am right now. I don't like nagging, yelling, and begging. Begging you for help, attention, and affection. I'll go back and get a better paying job and help more with finances if we decide to move forward. In return, you'll have to help more with our family. Help worry about finding a sitter for our daughter who's picking her up from school. You'll need to help and call out when she's sick, take off for field trips, help make her lunches, take her to extracurriculars, and help more with daily tasks. He never responded. Instead, I saw where he played over 3 hours on his PlayStation. To me, that speaks volumes. Someone messaged me this link. That story really resonated with me, and it hit close to home. I'd guess I'm at the point where I don't want a roommate anymore. I just want a partner who cares and can see the value I bring to our relationship and our family. Many of the original post responses talk about how I just want sex, and that's really not it. I want intimacy and a yearning to feel loved and longed for. I want our relationship to be where we are a team again, and it no longer feels like a pissing contest about who does what. I guess we are past the point of working things out. Now, my concern is how to make this an easy transition for my daughter. I will continue to put a smile on my face and hold back my pain, because as a parent, how she feels and what she sees comes first. I don't want her to feel blame or to be sad. I know it won't be easy, but thank you, strangers, for your advice, even when some of it stung a little. As I've said, I know it's hard to have an opinion when you're only getting one side. I'm not an angel in any of this, and take accountability for my part in the ending of this chapter. I guess it's time to move on. Relevant comments from OP. I appreciate your message and your perspective. I really do. When he gets home, he says how tired he is and bolts it upstairs to the game room to sleep before we can even get a hello in. Then, I hear him on his game up there. I tell him and our daughter how thankful I am for how he provides for his family. I've helped him lose weight and told him how good he's looking and how proud I am of his weight loss, even though he's getting the results by medication. I make sure the house is nice and tidy before he gets home. I pack his work bag, clean his clothes, make his lunches, and buy his snacks. What I get in return is most of our bills paid by him and nothing more, unless I ask him several times to do something. When I ask him to go to a family event, he says he's tired and doesn't go. When he goes, he complains the whole time about how tired he is. He can't just do what I do and put a smile on his face. I think I don't have any more to give. I got to this point and asked him to make a sacrifice for me, and his response was no response. But instead, he played 3 hours on his game. When do I deserve to get some extra effort from our marriage? Brilliant_chicken_153. I can totally empathize. Sounds like he's not even open or appreciative of the kind things you're trying to do for him. Well, then the only other thing I could think of is trying to get him to open up about what's making him unhappy, to where he needs to escape to his games every waking moment. Put the onus on him to explain what he feels he is not getting that causes him to game non-stop. When I gamed, I would still make time for my family, and it sounds like he won't. You may have already made up your mind, but if you're still on the fence, pushing aside your hurt and concerns temporarily, and finding out from his perspective why he is checking out and gaming might give you some insight. I'm guessing he wasn't always this way. Something seems to be fundamentally not working. Couples therapy could help, but a lot of therapists are not that great. Not sure if it's an option, but maybe a separation or leaving for a few weeks could make him wake up. Barring that, if you do go through a divorce, I wish you the best of luck. They are not fun. OP. This was his response a day later. If I don't make you happy, then I don't want to force something that's not going to make you happy. I'm fine with what you want to do. I do love you. And I shouldn't have to prove that after being together for 14 years. We can go our ways. I will financially support you and Landry to the best of my ability. I only have a few requests. That wherever you decide to move, please stay within 30 miles of each other so I can see Landry and help better. I can pay your mortgage on a $250K house if you put $100K down, and will of course pay for whatever Landry needs. When we sell the house, I want $100K, and you can have everything else. I need you to pay the Tesla off. I owe $33K. We need to at least get $600K for our home, if not more. I hate that it's come down to this, but I will help you achieve happiness as long as we can agree on some terms with our child and finances. Update 2, August 11th, 2024, 7 months later. Hey, fellow Redditors. Sorry for going silent for a while. I'm not entirely sure where I left off, but here are the most recent updates. I'm also not sure where the best place is to put updates, so I figured I'd just make another post. After my second post, I discovered some thyroid nodules. Thankfully, they turned out to be non-cancerous, but I still need to undergo a procedure to have them shrunk. My husband found out about my condition and was upset that I hadn't told him what I was going through medically. After that, we had another serious conversation, and he asked if we could try to reconcile. We both decided to address our concerns and have been working on our relationship since then. He has stopped playing his PlayStation, watching porn, and spending all his time upstairs in the game room. I started working more hours and contributing more financially, especially with all the extra medical costs from the lab tests, scans, and saving up for the procedure. Since I've been working more, he's stepped up to help out more with household chores and has become a more present parent. We're actively working on our marriage, including being intimate more often, focusing on our health, and communicating better. After my health scare, I realized that life is too short not to enjoy it. I told him that I refuse to waste energy on arguments, anger, or being around people who bring more negativity than positivity into my life. He understands that if we aren't on the same path, I won't stay in this marriage. As many of you pointed out, it's not healthy for our daughter to have parents who stay together solely for her sake. He has finally listened to me and started taking his health seriously. He's now using a CPAP machine for his sleep apnea, has lost 60 pounds, and is taking medication for his cholesterol. Overall, he seems to be in a much better mood. He admitted he hadn't realized how much his late-night PlayStation sessions were affecting his sleep and consequently his mood and behavior. He apologized for being so oblivious to the impact of his actions on our relationship. We still have a long way to go, but things are definitely moving in a positive direction. I'm hopeful that we can continue to rebuild and grow together. Thanks for all the support and advice. It really helped me navigate this challenging time. I can tell he's trying and is making efforts to be more involved and present as a husband and father. He is also taking a lot more initiative in our relationship. He initiates sex and actually is back to foreplay, and I feel like we have true intimacy again. I really think with the amount of masturbating he did, he had death grip syndrome, and that's why he had a hard time keeping an erection, which ultimately led to the dead bedroom. The bedroom is fun again, and I feel like we are how we were before having a kid. We started doing lots of little things together, like watching our weekly shows, having date nights, and we even took a week-long trip with just the two of us, and we had a great time. I'm not saying everything is perfect because we have our days, but we are on a very good path. I don't believe in throwing away something broken until I've given my all to repair it. It's so easy to throw something away and start over with something new. Marriage is teamwork, and both partners have to be willing to put in equal parts of effort to make it last. I hate it took the big wake-up calls to get here, but I'm glad we're where we are at in life. Again, I appreciate all of you in this Reddit community. Thank you for watching! If you enjoyed our stories and would like to hear more, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you captivating tales and new content every week. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We appreciate every one of you for being a part of our storytelling journey.